Hey everyone, it's Hypnotist Drew Bissonnette here, and I wanted to make this video today because it's something that's been weighing on my mind for quite a few weeks now, and I really need to talk about it, and hopefully it resonates with you. What a lot of people don't realize, on top of being a stand-up comedian and hypnotist, I am also a motivational speaker. And I actually draw on my own personal life experiences. I wanted to talk about bullying. First, as you may notice, I'm not skinny. I am overweight, fat. I am not your average 27-year-old man with six-pack abs or big biceps, and that's okay. The reason I bring that up is because this was the main reason I was picked on. We all know how it goes. You go to school and you meet people that just are very cruel to one another. They're very mean-spirited. They don't really have a reason to not like you. They've never gotten a chance to know you. But yet, they make it their mission to destroy you, to tear you down, to make you feel like you're worthless, to make you feel that you have no reason to live. I went through that every day, from grade school through high school. We all know the cliche names that overweight people get called. Lard ass, tubby, fatty 2x4. It's funny because it lacks originality. You would think after 100, 200 years, bullies would find different names to call people instead of resorting to the cliche go-to phrases. But the reason why they do that is because that's all they can think of. They don't have the intellect that they can just create something new. This isn't just about being overweight. They do this for people who have special needs, people who are poor, even people who are rich. Anyone that looks different from the social norm, they think that they can just tear down. And the thing is, bullies, whether they realize it or not, they're making fun of other people. They're making fun of you because they're self-conscious about themselves. They see something in you that they don't have in themselves, whether it's money, looks, brains. They're making fun of you because they don't have what you have, and they feel inferior to you. What they end up doing is making fun of you, making fun of anyone that has something that they want and they don't have, so they can feel better about themselves. Wants to tear you down, wants what you have, and wants to feel powerful and feel like they're in control. The key is to not give them control. As cliche as it sounds, sometimes you just have to ignore them. And I know, ignoring someone calling you names, physically abusing you, mentally and emotionally abusing you, you can only ignore them for so long. From personal experience, I know that it can be hard. And for me, I dealt with it in very different ways. I would be bullied constantly at home by different family members. I would be called gay, faggot. I would be thrown downstairs, kicked, punched, slapped. I've been kicked into walls, thrown into buildings, thrown into cars. Really a lot of physical abuse by certain family members that I had to deal with from the age of 5. And the way I dealt with it was not always the healthiest. And I'll get into more of these unhealthy ways that I dealt with them that I learned from in other videos. There are people out there that need to hear my story. They may be going through the exact same thing that I went through, and they may think that they're alone, and they're really not. Because not only was I bullied by family members at school, by friends, I was even bullied by teachers and administrators. I couldn't really go to any teacher or administrator until high school to talk to anyone about this stuff. Unfortunately for me, the schools that I attended didn't have the best staff on hand. When I went and told them what was going on, that I was being bullied, getting called gay and fat and getting physically abused, they didn't believe me. They didn't listen to me. Told I was making it up, that I just wanted attention. I have had a few teachers that got physically abusive with me. I had teachers make fun of the clothes that I wore. One of the biggest things that I can remember that happened in my life for bullying was middle school. I was the new kid in school. I didn't know anyone. It was a new town to me. Then the end of the year came, and we all know what happens near the end of the year. You get your yearbooks. Our teacher hadn't had a chance to pass out our yearbooks to us yet. We were going to get our yearbooks the next day. So as I'm walking through the halls, I start noticing that everyone's staring at me. They're whispering, pointing, laughing, and I don't really understand why. I get on my bus, and the same thing is happening. Well, one of the girls on the bus came up to me and asked me if I had seen the yearbook yet. I said no. She opens up the yearbook, and there were several pictures of me that had captions referring to food, referring to my weight. There were a couple pictures that they had stretched out to make me look wider than I actually was. It hurt. This is my 6th grade yearbook. This type of thing should never have happened. Not just to me, but to anyone. The administrators in charge of this yearbook were not on their A game. One of the pictures at the very beginning, and the caption reads, "Let's eat now." Not even near food, not in the cafeteria. I have no food with me, and yet they decided to caption that. One of the pictures that they decided to stretch out to make me look bigger than I actually was. All the pictures on this page, except mine, have actually been shrunk or left the same size. When you look at my picture, you can clearly tell it's been stretched because the picture is very pixely and it just looks very unusual next to all the other pictures. There's a few more pictures in here, and that was just 6th grade, guys. I remember when I got home, I went in the house and I was just crying. My mom already knew what was up. Kids that had gotten home before me, they had already shown their parents the yearbook, and they started calling our house. These parents were absolutely horrified and disgusted by it. They wanted the school to give me a public apology. That never happened. What did happen was even worse. The school, in an attempt to put a stop to people bullying me and making fun of me over this, on the morning announcements, it was along the lines of that there were some photos in the yearbook and captions that should never have been put in them, and that the individual who was affected by them has been being bullied and made fun of, and that I personally would like it to stop. The school never took responsibility for it. They played it off and acted like I was overreacting. Now, there were a lot of other stuff that happened during this middle school time. I had a kid threaten to come to school and kill me with a knife. So I was made fun of in my middle school yearbook. I was egged. I had paintballs shot at me in middle school while I was out trick-or-treating. I had teachers that didn't want to believe anything I said. What was I supposed to do? I felt alone. I wish I could tell you everything that happened to me. And unless you've ever been bullied yourself, you're never truly going to understand. I can't tell you how many times I've been told in my life, especially from family and friends, that I'll never amount to anything, that I'm worthless, and you'll never succeed because you're poor. Just do your research about how many of these billionaires started out poor and on welfare, and look at where they are today. Tell me poor people don't succeed. A lot of schools across the nation now have implemented zero tolerance bullying, but it still happens. The schools have tried, and they have tried to pick up their game when it comes to bullying, but it's still a flawed system, because if they don't see it happening, they can't do anything about it. I don't think you'll ever fully recover from being bullied. The wounds, the scars, they heal, they fade, but you never forget. But you gotta remember to stay positive. There are people out there that want to help you. There are people out there that want to listen to you. Whether it's a friend or a family member or a teacher you really enjoy, go to someone. Talk to them. Tell them what's going on. It's not tattling. It's not being scared. You're a human. You deserve respect. You deserve to be treated with dignity and decency. Positive things that came from very negative people doing very horrible negative things to me. I've made some of the best friends I've had in my life because of this yearbook. People knew who I was when we came back to school in the fall. People knew my name. They were saying hi to me in the hallways. They were sitting with me at lunch. They were sitting with me on the bus. Upperclassmen would come to me and tell me, if anyone picks on you, you tell me and I'll take care of them. They looked out for me, whether I went to them or not. And this has followed me middle school, high school, even today. Someone will bring it up. I think of all the positives that came from it. My friends, complete strangers calling my house, telling me how sorry they were. People knowing my name. I basically became famous at this school, famous in my town, because of this fiasco. Is it something I wanted to be famous for? No. Hopefully now, years later, I'll be famous for motivational speaking and stand-up comedy. Doing hypnosis, they'll only know what I am now. If you're being bullied and you have nowhere else to turn to because you feel like no one's listening and that no one cares, I care. Your true friends care. Reach out to someone. Call someone. Text. Email. We have so many ways to communicate with people. Use it. Share this video. You don't know who it could help. It could help one of your friends, one of your family members. I hope it helps you. I hope it helps several people to understand you're not alone and that bullying is not tolerated. Don't be afraid to tell someone. Don't be afraid to stand up to a bully, whether it's just speaking your mind and saying that you don't deserve to be treated that way. That they have no right to dull your sparkle. I think I heard that in a movie once, dull your sparkle. I like it. Don't let them dull your sparkle. Walk away if you can. If you can't walk away from them, yell for help, because they're going to be shocked when you actually start screaming. There are going to be people coming around to look for you. Talk to people. Don't hold it in. Find a creative outlet. And I hope that I've helped inspire you to stand up for yourself. If you see bullying happen, speak up. Get a teacher. Go to that victim's aid. Just put your arm around them and just walk them away. Be their best friend for that moment. You don't know the impact you have on someone's life. One small gesture could save someone's life. And let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this video. Do you want more motivational videos? What topics do you want me to touch on? I will see you guys real soon.